Wanted to just say Shukrana to Guruji for all of his blessings and all of his miracles that he does for us. I just feel like the blessings and miracles are so unique, and they're so, they feel like they're like tailor-made for us. And I want to say Shukrana to Guruji for that. And I want to say thank you, Guruji, for giving me the opportunity to speak today and share my satsang. And also, please, Guruji, help me to say the right things. So my journey with Guruji began towards the end of 2018. A friend of mine was a Sevadar at Edison Mandir, and he told me, I've started going to the Guruji's temple. You should also come. It'll be good for you. And he was, aware of the challenges I was going through at that time. So I started going. And I think one of the first things that I got attracted to and that I liked was the Sangat, their seva. How many times I forgot my chai prasad or my jal prasad, and sevadar uncles would come all the way to the other end of the parking lot and give me my chai prasad, and in the freezing cold. And I used to always be like very impressed with their dedication to the seva. And every time I used to listen to the satsangs, I used to feel very positive, and I used to leave the temple very hopeful. And that kept me coming. So I kept going, and then I would say the turning point came on Mother's Day 2019. I don't know what happened that day. I was very emotional. I was in tears the whole time. And my friend came up to me and said, Shweta, Guruji aapka karam kat raha hai. Don't stop coming to the temple. Keep coming. So, I kept coming, and not that, things changed that day or anything, but slowly, I started seeing some changes in me. Initially, I was very, what would I say? I felt very empty inside. I don't know. I was not really happy with anything. I kind of had a very negative attitude, very cynical attitude. I felt like everybody's doing the wrong thing, so what's the point of being good? And I was, just didn't really have much direction. But slowly, as I started coming, and my faith started increasing, I started feeling like, no, Guruji is, everything's happening under the watch of Guruji. So he's going to take me to the right place, and, everything is fine. So, slowly, I started getting that confidence. Then one day I was listening to a satsang, and I said to Guruji, Guruji, you come to so many people's lives, they see you in their dreams, you come to their homes. Can you please show me that you're there? And, I said that, and then this was sometime in June, and then I kind of forgot about what I said. And then what happened was that in August, towards the end of August, it was the end of the summer, and my kids were kind of getting antsy. We hadn't gone anywhere all summer. And so we were watching the US Open, and I said, okay, you know what, let's go to Djokovic's game, because we all like him, and he was in the semifinals. So I got tickets for a 7 o'clock game, and we went. I didn't get parking in the stadium, so I got parking like half a mile away or whatever. So, I got the tickets, we went, I didn't think too much, and then on the way there, I stopped by at a hotel, and I said, if the game ends at 2 in the morning, which sometimes it does, maybe I'll stay over. And I talked to the guy, I said, is it safe for me to, walk at 2 in the morning to the parking? And he said, oh, I wouldn't advise it. So I said, then what do? I'm already here. So he said, well, leave your car here, take a Uber there, and then, you can take a private cab back. So I said, okay, fine. I went there, the game ended actually around 12:30, and, so I called the cab company. They said, oh, right now there's a gridlock. We can't even get there before 1.5 hours. So earliest we can be there is at 2 in the morning. I thought, oh my goodness, all these people will be gone by then. What am I going to do? And these guys said this wasn't a very safe place. So I got really scared. I started praying to Guruji. I said, Guruji, keep me safe. So the guy said they'd pick us up at the main road. So we thought, okay, let's walk to the main road and see how far it is. So with the three of us, me and my kids, we started walking. And, we got to the main road, and just like he described, there was a total gridlock. You would not believe, we walked up to the curb, and there was an empty taxi waiting right in front of me. I didn't even have to cross the road. And I looked around, there was no other taxi anywhere. And I was like, I just felt like Guruji had just placed that taxi there for us. And I was so grateful. And that day I just felt like, Guruji he knows exactly where I am and what I'm doing 24 hours a day. So that was, a big sort of leap in my faith in Guruji. Then I sort of come to the satsang that I really wanted to share with you all, which is my most recent satsang. It's about my father. My father was a civil engineer. Now, of course, he's retired. And he and my mom were with ISKCON for the last 25 years. So after my mom passed away, my father, started doing seva, and he basically helped them with all their construction projects. So he was helping them build a temple in Parsipani. So all of a sudden, December 6th, I get a call. It was a Sunday afternoon that the president of the temple calls me and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm calling you under these circumstances, but your dad is being taken to the hospital in an ambulance because he just lost his balance and, his speech is slurred and, of course, signs of a stroke." So I was like a little bit in shock, and it was about 2:30 in the afternoon. So I thought, what should I do then? Let me go to the temple. Actually, I had not come to the temple that day because my daughter had a piano competition, so I was trying to help her get ready for that. So I said, what should I do? Let me just go to the temple. So I came here, Sevadar uncle was here, and I said, my dad just had a stroke, what should I do? And he said, he was very nice, and he got some Jal Prasad, and he got a couple swarups of Guruji. He had it blessed by Guruji, and he gave it to me. And he said, put the swarup under his pillow and put a couple of drops of water. If you can't put it in his mouth, just put it on his lips. So, I went home. And immediately I got a call from the emergency room. The doctor saying, "How far are you?" I said, "I'm about 45 minutes away." He said, "You need to drop everything and you need to come here because your dad's going to pass within the hour." And I said, "Okay." I said, "Guruji, please let me at least get there before he passes." So anyway, I went to the emergency room. All the people from the temple were there. Everybody was kind of waiting for me to see my reaction. And I was like, okay. And then the doctor came, and the doctor says, "Okay, so if his heart stops, what do you want us to do? Do you want us to resuscitate him?" And I was like, and they said, he's going to be in a lot of pain, and his ribs will probably break. And then even if he recovers, the kind of injury he has, he'll have severe disability. So I said, I don't know. I said, "Guruji, I don't know. You make the decision. I really don't know what to say." I said, "Guruji, if you want to take him, take him. If you want to keep him, then Guruji, at least give him some quality of life. I'm not expecting him to go back to his engineering, but at least, he should be able to talk. He should be able to at least walk, at least eat some food. the basics." And then I just left it. I said, "Guruji, I leave it up to you. You make the decision." So I told the doctor, I said, "No, if his heart stops, then, let him go. I don't want to revive him or anything." So anyway, that was that. And then he was just kind of lifeless, just there. And then, I came home. There's really nothing. They were just going to monitor him. Next day, I went back. Again, there was no life in him or anything. He was just there. They took him up to the ICU. And we were just waiting there. Then the next afternoon, he kind of woke up. And he was a little bit more alert. And then he was there in the ICU for 2 days. His vitals stabilized. Then they put him in the MICU, which is the unit below that. And the first thing I saw was his room number was 527. And I was so happy. I was like, "Guruji, I know you're looking. I know you're there." And those 3 weeks, Sangatji, you would not believe. It was just touch and go. Every day it was something. He had a fever. Then they said he had a urinary tract infection. Then they said, "Oh no, he has a pneumonia." Then they said, he has to get a blood transfusion. Then they said, every day it was something. And I used to be so scared to go to the hospital. I used to take Guruji Swarup with me. I said, "Guruji, you come with me. I don't want to face today. I don't know what they're going to tell me." And like I said, every day was a challenge. And I remember this one satsang this one auntie did that really helped me. She was talking about her grandson who was born at 20 weeks. And, he was in the ICU. And every day, it was during COVID time, so they couldn't even visit. So every day the nurse would write, "Okay, day 25, day 26, and she would say, "Okay, so he's still alive." And, she kept praying. She said, "Guruji, you gave him life. Guruji, aap sambhalo. Guruji, aap sambhalo." And that was also my prayer. "Guruji, you could have taken him, but you didn't for some reason. Please, aap sambhalo." And every day I just prayed. And then somehow we got through the 3 weeks, and they kept coming to me and they kept saying, "Look, the numbers are against you. You really need to start talking with hospice. You really need to start talking with social workers." And I was like, you know what? Guruji is above and beyond everybody. So whatever he says, I'll do. I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'll face it when, if that's what he wants, then I'll accept it. But right now, I'm okay the way I am. And they kept saying, there's 30% chance of survival in the first month. There was only 5% chance when he was in the emergency room. So anyway, like that, it continued. And then they told me that, okay, so now 3 weeks, they want to release him. he was on a, visitor's visa, so he had like some travel insurance. Nobody wanted to take him in a rehab. I was like, where am I going to find a rehab for him? Nobody, because, it's a lot of money. It's like $500 a day for a rehab. So I was like, where do I go? Then Guruji found me a place in Wayne. I was a little bit disappointed. I wanted my father to be in, Edison area, so it would be easier for me. But then I thought, Guruji must have a reason why he's putting him in Wayne. And then at that time, the Omicron virus was, kind of more rampant. And I was thinking, maybe this was a better place for him. It was, they basically did not keep any COVID patients in that facility. They transferred them out to another one. So I was like, okay, maybe that was Guruji's reason. Guruji knows what's best. So, I'm not going to challenge it. Anyway, so we got through all that. All of January, it was, he basically was totally paralyzed on the right-hand side. He couldn't eat other than thickened liquids. He couldn't speak. He was saying something. I couldn't understand what he was saying. And that's how January went. And every day I would go. One auntie gave me some Sachkankar Prasad. Another auntie told me, play these Shabads for him. So I used to play the Shabads, and I used to sit there, and, I used to massage his hands, and I used to, his hands were like this, and I used to take his fingers, and I used to massage them, and whatever I could do every day. So I did that all of January. All of a sudden in February, he started doing this. And I was so excited. Everybody was so excited. He started moving his fingers and his toes. And then, oh, good. He's getting sensation in his fingers and feet. And then March, he just took off. He started standing up, and he started walking. Almost walking with, with support, of course, and a walker. And now I brought him home, and he's in my house. And, they were all telling me, it's so hard to find aides right now. There's so much shortage. It's very hard to find a good person. With Guruji's grace, I found such a nice woman that's taking care of him now. I'm just so happy. I'm back to work. I don't know, there's so many details that, I don't have time to get into. But Guruji just helped me every step of the way. And if I had not come to this temple, I just cannot even imagine going through what I did with confidence and, with the strength that, no, whatever Guruji does is going to be for the best.